Welcome back, everybody. I am working on the Rooster frame a little bit, and I thought I'd stop and take an opportunity to talk about something here. I've decided, since I've had this around, and I've been tinkering with these electronics in another frame, and I just thought I'd throw them in here so I could have some fun with this frame and just fly it instead of reviewing it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Joshua Bardwell's 4-in-1 all-in-one. He calls it an all-in-one, but it doesn't have ESCs on it or VTX. But it does have a power distribution board. It does have OSD. It does have a flight controller. And who knows what else that I'm missing. Anyway, I just wanted to talk quickly about it. I have a love-hate relationship with this board because I do like it. I think it's good in many ways. I like that they chose to put the gyro in the middle here so that it's as close to the center of gravity as possible. Right in the middle this way, right in the middle lateral or forward aft. And depending on where you mount your battery, but it is where it's supposed to be, so that's good. It does have black box support. I've got two of these here. It has the current sensor on it. It's laid out pretty well. Sometimes these wires on here are a little awkward. If you like to run your wires around, I think I did that here. I mean, there's ways to do it. It's kind of weird how it goes around the post there, but certainly not like a terrible thing. I like that it has the rubber isolation mounts built into the board. That's very nice. It is feature packed. It has probably everything on there that you need for most applications. The service at Race Day Quads is also very good. I don't really have any complaints except for one major one, which we're going to get to. If you're going to use this, you need to make sure that and these little traces here are kind of microscopic. I don't even know if you can see them here, but if you're using FR Sky, you need to bridge those two. If you're using Spectrum, you have to bridge those two. Maybe look at it through a magnifying glass, not a microscope, just to make sure that you got the proper ones bridged and that they actually did bridge and you didn't bridge all three. My eyes are a little maybe not good enough to tell for sure once I did that. No big deal though, just make sure. There's plenty of pads on here. The layout is really nice. The camera mounts on the front. The receiver mounts on the front. I moved mine to the back. On this frame I kind of tucked it under here between the arms. The VTX wires are on the back. Everything's pretty logically laid out. Like I said, not a whole lot to complain about, except for one major thing that I just wish that it was a little better with, is that I like to build with 4-in-1 ESCs. And this really, if you want to build with 4-in-1 ESCs, this board's really not a good choice. It doesn't have, as far as I know, there's no way to send current sensing to it. So if you want to make use of the current sensor that's in the built onto the board, you would have to run your batteries here, and then you would have to tap power for your 4-in-1 ESCs, maybe off of here, but I just don't trust that you're going to get enough current off of one of these pads, so then you'd have to do 4 pads, and that's ugly. Alternatively, you could bypass the current sensor on here, use the current sensor on your 4-in-1 ESC. What is this? Yes, this one has one. So you could do it this way, power power your flight controller off of here. But I don't know if you can make use of the current sensor. If someone knows a way to connect your current sensor to this board, let me know. I'd like to see. Maybe I should review the instructions that Joshua wrote before I commit to that. But no, I think I'll publish it and we'll just talk about it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just not seeing it on there. sometimes these traces or the writing on these pads it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the writing, which pad it goes onto. You can see, if this helps you at all, this is an XM Plus wired here. So S bus 3.3/5 and then ground. So I've color coded my wires ground plus, and then the S bus goes right there. So it's like the 3 pads in the center. I've also used on the front here the cam. You can see that there's a plus, and then I'm sorry. See, that's why. Okay, ground 7.6, and then the video signal goes on those 3 pads. And I don't think I used the other pads up there for anything else. On the back here, I connected, in this case I'm running an immersion RC tramp, IRC tramp. Goes to, now I'm using the TX4 here to control the tramp. And then there's ground, and then there's power, and then there's the video signal that's being sent to it through the OSD on the board. That's really all you have to wire on here, and of course the power and the ESCs. They've provided you a ground wire here and also here so that you can, I guess it's possible to have ground loop problems on ESCs. I've never seen it happen, but if your ESC supports it and the pad supports it, we'll go ahead and use it, and then it'll be one less thing to worry about. Signal, and then of course the plus and minus for your ESCs. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about with Joshua Bardwell. Well, the race day quads, Joshua Bardwell signature F4 all-in-one flight controller. And I have actually flown with this before. It works great. It's an F4 controller. Betaflight hooks right up to it. I have had 0 problems with it so far. I'm not really sure how many times I've flown it, but like I said, I've had 0 problems with it. So again, I love the board, and I hate the fact I can't use it in all my builds because I like to do the 4-in-1, and I would rather just not mess with using that board for the sake of using that board. Maybe he'll come out with another one. If you don't know what I'm talking about on that, it's like, for instance, one of my favorite stacks to use is the Hobby Wing stack. Where'd that other piece go? I just had it a minute ago. Anyway, you put that on there, you wire your motors to it. This plugs right onto the top, bolt it together like that, and you're off to the races. A little bit cleaner for that. So anyway, I'll finish building this. Maybe I'll put a picture of it on in another video. I have lots of other projects coming up, including my Norris. I know I'm getting behind on that. I have an America, the Catalyst Machine Works America frame to build also. So I'll be getting to that also pretty soon. Take care. I'll see you next time.